This is big brain time. Oh, immediately after some no brain time? Ooh, I'm a genius. Nah, not really, but I'm about to show you who are. Characters of all kinds and classes find themselves fighting with super common tropes 24/7 to little success. But hang tight, you just need to find your own special way to fight. And although lifting with your head muscles instead of arm muscles is in no way one of a kind anymore, there's always those select few cerebral bench pressers hoisting up the heavens that keep it special. 10 to be precise. The brainy know-it-all is one of my favorite cliches of all time, mostly because of the incredible potential, some of which have already brought out. Be it inventors, manipulators, benefactors, visionaries, psycho, or socio. It's a path of endless intrigue. Should you have no snack, make one. I promise to show you all the smartest of them all. Light bulbs on.
Of course.
Whoa! Crash Bandicoot on this channel? Think we know who the real madman here is. Well, it's either that or getting goddamn gutted by retro video game zealots. Since even though I'm not personally attached to him, the Simpsons extra named literally after the most advanced part of the brain is ingrained in the culture of simulated smarty pantses so deeply, he's the dirt's shrink. Dr. Neo Periwinkle Cortex isn't exceptionally impressive amongst gaming geniuses or even mad scientists, in my opinion, but they balance him as a sort of jack of all trades. A really good entry point for this sort of thing. Coming from a colorful background, Neo grew up as the youngest in a family of circus clowns, why not? Preferring to read science books than perform for popcorn munchers. Bullies literally tattooed the big N on his forehead for being a nerd. Poor kid. An accidental explosion offed his family, and he spent his young orphan years accelerating his education with his right-hand chum, becoming a single-digit graduate. Dicks still made fun of him, so a life of crime it is. Eventually becoming a maligned supervillain, Cortex strived to advance with an all-powerful animal army, experimenting on animals up until a fateful day he tested on 2 bandicoots. The rest is 3D platformer history. I love this dude's background, and despite being, evil, he's pretty low-key, using extravagant setups for pretty simple stuff. I shall use a magic crystal to harness the energy of a solar flux to simply rule the human race, mutating animals, turning them into freaks of nature. Attack, my pets! I dig the simplicity. And yes, part of the appeal of evil geniuses is their wacky personality. But no, Cortex is pretty down to earth, especially coming from a literal family of clowns. Modest inventions, standard character, but with fun backstory. Sometimes it's okay to be okay. Dumb is the new smart. Every so often, you come across a being with such overwhelming intellectual omnipotence. They smush both egg-shaped and block-shaped heads together, effectively inventing big brain go thunk. Yeah, tons of geniuses are, well, I guess foolish is the correct term, but I'm gonna say stupid. For comedy. Now you're talking my language. I can respect an interesting experiment, except that! But Insomniac's attempts to throw shit at a wall they planned on tearing down anyway, stuck. And even a fire hose can't get it off. I love Dr. Nefarious. While Drek and Quark preceded him as villains, they more or less felt like placeholders until Ratchet and Clank's true big bad was finally complete. The scourge of the Solana Galaxy. Nefarious feels very much like he could have invented the series itself, being incredibly smart, inspired, but also comedically charged by the energy of a stand-up supernova. Even though I opened this up as if being stupid and silly is his whole shtick, It's not, though it's definitely what he's remembered for. Possibly inspiring aspects of Megamind. In fact, yeah, his organic form in the reboot even kinda looks like him. Nefarious and Quark attended the same high school, and the latter bullied the former, building up spite to the point of forming a hatred for both heroes and all organic life. So he converted himself into a robot, aiming to Ultron the 3 galaxies to death, replacing the flesh with metal. Yeesh. Robot worker advocate. Though his inventions are extremely impressive, all of Drek's weapons, his own made-to-order Death Star, even Clank's physical body. Dude, seriously, you rock for that. It's his PhD in derpatology that makes him king. He randomly bursts into silly spasms like an ADD Jack-in-the-Box, playing holograms of his Galactic Idol audition, bantering his butler bot Lawrence to smithereens constantly, and clearly taking Pilates lessons from Jim Carrey. Yeah, the dude who built his own damn Death Star.
It's not even loaded, you moron! Look!
Science is inspiring. Our eyes can't catch everything, even after we invented cameras. You gotta wonder sometimes, where does all this technology even come from? It's scary how fast and quiet progress is made on things that, let's be honest, takes longer to comprehend than build. God forbid we're slow to realize the true potential or purpose. Yep. God clearly forbade something here. What do we do this time? Look, nobody told me sleeping with the fishes was a joke. My God was definitely after more than just O this time. Bastard wanted the whole alphabet, so he paid off those damn Shikas with he knows how many heaven bucks. Pulled rug? Meet hand. I want to give Breath of the Wild the benefit of the doubt and say that scapegoating Ganon worked, but I can't help but feel something was wrong from the start. Its take on the Sheikah is uncomfortable, if I do say so myself. Rolling with the suspiciously advanced ancient civilization trope, these mystic punks drag all the appropriate baggage everywhere they've touched. And seeing how they have touched everywhere, that leaves a scary question. Would you entrust the safety of your entire kingdom and lineage to the fuckers that made these? Yes, I remind you, all those savage bionic apocalypses on legs, Megazord ripoffs, and every single technological entity and tool that surrounds you came from the same place. You know, it's creepy to consider how the hell a single race even made all that stuff, but not nearly as much as why they did it. Sure, Hyrule assumes it's for their defense, but I don't care how ancient your kingdom is, it sure wasn't invented before the lie. Call me crazy, but I think possibly, maybe, the Shadow Folk might be capable of keeping secrets. So, were they for us? For Ganon? Or was a third eye planned to open? Regardless, the Sheikah are symbols of the creepier side of smarts, where even the strongest powers can be flipped over by a bigger brain. A think tank waiting for its opening. And I don't mean to legit scare you, but that's not something fiction came up with. Maybe be nice to the nerdy kid? Now, I was tempted to make a close call, but just my luck, he wasn't home. Did you guess a TF2 rep? I should have put you on here, champ. Although the sadistic bastard who created the damn Dead Ringer is good genius material, it would have been illegal to hand this Nobel Prize off to just one pair of hands. They're good pals anyway. They'll clone a second one in like a minute. Mercenary 6 and 7. Report for big brain time. Hale's hellish henchmen from both Texas and Germany are fantastic takes on two common genius archetypes, Mad Doctor and Mechanic. And every bit of fun they could have possibly had with both is weaponized via whimsical warfare. The brightest letter in the Conager name, Del, is exactly that for his mastery of machines. More realistic in his brilliance than Medic, Inji augments the foundation of both his team's defensive and supportive power, and even the lore, perfecting the life extension device his old man couldn't, and Lord knows what else he's actually contributed. Inventions like the dispenser, teleporter, rescue ranger, pumpsin, short circuit are seriously awesome, and I love how passionate he is for his metal mutilators. He totally chopped off his real hand to make his own robot one. Confess! From technology to biology, Dr. Ludwig Medical Man has a more surreal quality to him. It's mad funny how they basically turned a mage into a cuckoo Hippocratic hunky hunk, treating patients like his own bioweapons, walking the underdogs with an energy leash. Medic's inventions have a dreamlike quality and rule the battlefield like a magical force. It's Dark Souls to not be impressed by him. Fun, creative, innovative. You two. Aha! There's the second one. Well earned. How much is a really good idea worth? Asking this question is like opening the floodgates. You're not getting a casual answer. One man who thought his was worth sinking an entire society, literally and figuratively, to rock bottom, chose to live in the flood, not die from it. There's a lot of subtext to spare when dissecting a masterpiece of BioShock's caliber, so I'm not gonna let it spell out anything I don't intend. You can disagree with someone's ideals and still admire their rapture. Let's just say Mr. Andy Ryan's an inspired man. Where better to take your murky ethics than the literal bottom of the sea? Gaming's most beloved political anti-villain is a reflection of believing just a little too hard in your beliefs. An outspoken opponent of socialism and collectivism, meaning he only values and gives things value on an individual scale, Andrew pretty much got sick of sharing what he earned with the parasites and built a utopia atop the Atlantic seabed, dubbed Rapture. Jesus, that's one hell of a way to run away from it all. And yes, reading into the subtle hints, his name, the signs. It gets uncomfortable for good reason. Fuck this book, fuck its author, fuck politics. But I'll appreciate fun symbols and a neat idea when I see it. I'm mostly fascinated with how in Neptune's nutsack he built a city in the goddamn ocean before patience was invented. But Rapture, baby, where a man is entitled to the sweat of his brow, blood of his bullet wound, and fuck sharing, yeah! Although he's kind of an idiot for endorsing those damn plasmids. But yes, Andrew Ryan had a brilliant idea, and damn, you can't do all this and not be some kind of genius. Although taking its ending into account, it's proof that some ideas should stay ideas, and that's something we're all smarter for understanding. Ingenuity is the mother of all evolution. Think about it, 'tis the video's whole theme. Only the complex and calculating go places and stay there. There's no advancement potential in FaceTime in your belly button. Rise up! Show those predecessors who's the success. Came from animals, now they come when they're called. Sit, Mittens.
You sit in your own blood.
Sitting. All this talk of evolution's giving me a Pokemon craving. A bottle of your finest, waiter. Oh, strong. You ever get so caught up in being smart, you do something dumb? Like, assume your magic pets won't exceed a 10.0 GPA? What, they don't go that high? Okay, reach for what you can. You gotta be something else to confidently take a seat at a Mensa meeting meant only for people. Psychic types have forever remained a borderline romanticized enigma. All across its various media, Pokemon treats by far its most infamous type as a stoic supernatural force, even in a world ruled by stoic supernatural forces. Especially especially in the early days. Their portrayal was that of higher beings, gods nobody could comprehend. Ironically, through power so game-breakingly, movie-makingly stupid were these Einsteins, so forceful. Cut to modern day, their omniscient omnipotence is thankfully a dead nightmare. They're still emotionally legendary Pokemon, tapping into the powers of fantasy most likely to become reality through advanced intelligence, levitation, telepathy, clairvoyance, mind-modding, extrasensory perception, psychomancy, aka talking to the dead, even energy projection. It's a speculative canvas, using only their brains. You wonder, could we do all this one day? Slowpoke's the first step? Yes, we in that bitch! Psychic types inspire awe with just how extra they are, using their smarts in creative, augmentative, disturbing, even sinister ways. Just like us. And perhaps are technically the least evolved Pokemon for that reason? Something to think on, should we ever want to evolve ourselves. Irony can be cruel. Everybody makes being the bad guy look so exciting, and they're kinda right. Good guys are boring, caring takes too much effort. I'd like to say I get it, but I'm sorry, Wily. Call me a part of your problem, but your legacy colleague demands all my respect. Dr. Thomas Light, contrary to everyone else on here, is an icon of humanity's best. Mega Man's Mega Dad is an incredible guy, taking up the utopian role of father of the future. Capcom's own Edison applied his passion for technology and humanitarian hope to an inspirational extreme with his invention of the Robot Master, semi-autonomous anthropomorphic machines built as the world's greatest tools, encompassing every task, titanic or tiny. His first wave of children shaped the planet's progress. It's sad, and realistically sad at that, how the creator of so many influential and beloved things is never given the appreciation he deserves. I'm not talking in-universe, I'm talking out of it. Being far from a fan favorite despite making every single one of them. Proto Man, Mega Man, Rush, Roll. Hell, Wily could never even made Basin Zero, his own Robot Masters, without Light's designs. That kind of power is impossible to walk off. But the core of this big-brained, bigger-hearted visionary is his final masterpiece. X, taking the real-world scientific dream of pure autonomous androids and miraculously keeping his dream of new life guiding and protecting the old alive. It's beautiful. He created life anew. And the only reason it ever suffered was because everyone copied off him. Dr. Light's life story is poignantly dark and heavy, symbolic of both extremes you risk unleashing should you think too big. Amazing ideas enrich the world, and the inspiration destroys it.
Stubborn little pincushion! Give up and die already!
May I offer you an egg in this trying time? Try as you might, none beat this one. Well, except for two. Here he is! Eggman, Robotnik, Baldy McNosehair, whatever the name. His game's always the same. And you know, routine isn't something that keeps appealing forever, but by keeping to his with a drive too hardcore for any processor to run, keeps him forever appealing. I don't think most people even remember how brilliant Eggman is. And, like, how? The Sonic franchise's central theme of Fight the Machine shines bright, thanks in many parts to an even brighter man's legacy as the most jaw-dropping flex of human invention ever. Tough title to claim, Impossible, you might say. But this hairy omelet reinvents the impossible every other week. Eggman's lineup of technological trinkets is so long, so impressive. It's the reason he was the first thing you thought of when arriving at this video. Don't lie. Humbly beginning with drones powered by Beanie Babies, leading to an unreal robotic double of his sworn enemy, capable of speeds faster than sound, shape-shifting, and the pretty much magical talent of copying and combining all lifeform data into self-augmentation. Essentially robot god, to jailbreaking a chronokinetic demon, to building a gargantuan aerial attack fleet led by a command ship with a core the size of a planet, to cracking the planet apart with a super laser piss, to making a planet to ensnare other planets as theme park attractions, like they're goddamn Ferris wheels. Who is this guy? He is the Eggman, and his master plan to conquer Sonic's a great case of practically mutating a character through flanderization. Yes, I said great. The mecha-minded menace of Mobius and beyond weaponizes the spectacle of smarts. And like Nefarious, he's an ironic buffoon for comedy's sake, which purifies the classical flavor into straight legendary. He's the perfect cartoon genius. The golden standard, which, yeah, status quo obligations keep him from being too efficient or serious, but I'd be a bitch-ass motherfucker to let that scramble his extraordinary talent. You know, for something so good at saying eep eep, I'd never expect the damn chimp to force one out of me. Speaking of mad, I would have been quite so at myself if I let this one sink below top 3. A ridiculously strong first impression. My first ever big bad. Andross wields the genius moniker like a homing chainsaw launcher. He's damn scary is the point I'm stabbing you with. Lilat's own simian psycho's a cosmic warlord hailing from a good-willed past, leading Corneria's research to further prosperity, with his massive advancements in biotechnology and space warps being useless to the Cornerians somehow. I surmise the lack of legal application for his talent drove him to, find a use. He did, now depraved and uninhibited from overexposure to his deadly work. Andross was banished to the toxic wasteland Venom to die. Using the Forbidden Planet as his new lab instead, the Monkey Menace unleashed utter hell on the galaxy, strangling it with a one-sided war at his declaration, polluting each planet and sector with his massive stockpile of Imperial pilots, armadas of attack mechs, and the creatures his demented experiments twisted into giant mutant bioweapons, not to mention deforming himself with his own warping tech, basically to the point of magical amputation of all but his head and hands. This guy is a fucking freak. Oh, and being Space Voldemort before Voldemort wasn't enough for him either, no. Even after he died, he didn't die, silently manipulating and power playing General Scales and Fox into reforming him as a dark matter god, posthumously dominating with his pet fish. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if the Aperoids were his ant farm. Andross is such a giant cornerstone of video game geniuses, an emblem of scientific insanity, demented creativity, and just how foobar things turn once the mind takes too much control. Easy #1 material, but I do have a promise to keep. A promise well kept. I've shown the smartest of all to all. My lord, finish it. Logic, science, and the human eye all agree. True perfection is impossible, but even all three banded together can only barely match Fawful, the one mind to blow all others through sheer desire of chaotic conquest. Alpha Dream's A+ evil innovator augments everything around him with high-end robotics, reflecting his uncanny image to such an insane and powerful degree. It borders on magic, armada of giant drones, sentient, transformative combat headgear that's also a physical and metaphysical vacuum capsule and jetpack, pocket laser that shoots dark plasma, physiology boosting ice beams, and energy capable of painlessly extracting anything out of living bodies. Faceware that brainwashes any basic creature, converting entire castles, hubs of both of the kingdom's royalties, I might add, into an attack shuttle and frickin' Megazord in a matter of hours. So, it's clear Fawful's a tech tyrant, one even Eggman would be intimidated by, but that's only a third of his power. One part mech engineer, one part biological terrorist. May I remind you, this insidious lima bean invented a disease to physically cripple toads and throttle the Mushroom Kingdom into a state of pandemic panic. He invented a disease as a distraction to borderline hijack Bowser's body with a homemade mushroom to systematically inhale everything around him, trapping his two greatest enemies inside his third greatest, and physically debilitating the latter. That's crazy. And here's where it all peaks. The final strength of Fawful, the gift that turned him into the biggest threat the Mushroom world has ever seen. He's a chess master, single-handedly bending the world to his will, with nothing but smarts and resources built up over his entire career, usurping both monarchies, abducting their armies, and claiming the world's darkness as his own to control, all with his brain. And if not for the 1 in a quadrillion chance of his three big enemies actually working together, his finest hour would have been the franchise finale. He has it all. Unreal gadgets, world-shifting influence, unassuming chaos, inventive insanity, cunning, comical antics. And he's scary too. I still can't believe everything he's done. Seeing him learn, evolve so dramatically. Take everything I've told you today, pour it into a maniacal beaker, and then water your bean pods with it. His furiousness is an awe-inspiring reminder of just how strong the mind can be. There's only one genius smarter. The one who created him. This is being Fawful's minion, and I don't need one of those damn masks to say that proudly. And now, give it up for the high-tier patrons. Panther J, Tubazone 1989, Diamond Ice, Skellington 977, Mathtron 5000, Goldsbro TSG, Thomas Drury, Lucario Smash 246, God fucking damn it, Alfredo Jones, Love, Sephi 90, Zero Z, Jake Arenstom, Morgan Arvite, Evie Girl 16, BF Rio, John the Pink, Renaku, Lord of Shadow, Cortamanch 437, Azazel the Undying, Cody Thomas, Peter Shepard, Solitaire Seamus, Christopher, GTY 200, Belkin, Michael Boyd, Steve, Masao, Exaox, put 9V in Smash Bros please, Arctic Kaiju, Gaming Griffin, Burn 100B, Patrick Sandlin, Maze Arcana, Jinxiest, Kyle Wee 21, Ray the Snivy, Douglas Jenkins, Blue 9999, Eddie Toxpin, Sonic Septile Warrior, Nathaniel Sterling, Dova Shakan, Allen, Charles Meeker II, Fencer de Rio, Andrew Weston, Roberto del Fuego, Shiro THR, Troubled Trombone, A4X Guy, Pikachu Crusher 26, Crocodile King 25, Zay Zandaler, Alexander Gradesh, Philip Cross, The Bonding Traveler, Shade 2800, Lucky 13130, Nightmare Steel, and Grandmaster Augustus. May we meet again!